If you know nothing about TikTok ads and you want to potentially increase your sales with a step-by-step secret winning TikTok ad strategy, today I'm going to walk you through the entire process, including how to properly set up your TikTok ads account and design your first ad campaign like a pro, the steps to successfully launch your first TikTok ad campaign to ensure that every dollar is well spent, because who likes wasting money, right? And the secret winning TikTok ad strategy that some businesses are using to 2x, 3x, or even 10x the ROI from their TikTok ads. Can somebody in the comments say cha-ching? Do it. I'll wait. Right in there. Cha-ching. Great. And if you watch to the end, I'll also give you a coupon so you can even get 30% cash back on your first month of ad spend, so you can see real results while saving money so you can reinvest into your business and scale even faster. You're welcome. All right, I'm going to come back to all that good stuff in a bit, because what you need to know is a crucial detail that I tell all my clients that could change your entire approach to ads, especially if you've never run them before, or if you've been wondering which platform to run ads on. Did you know that in 2023, brands like Amazon, Apple, Comcast, DoorDash, the Walt Disney Company spent nearly $4 billion, billion with a B, on TikTok ads? So this just shows how much potential TikTok ads have for small and medium-sized businesses now. And you'll be tapping into that exact same powerful platform that some of the biggest brands in the world are using to drive engagement and sales. I mean, you and Disney using the exact same strategy. Now, if you're worried about, am I going to be competing with these big brands? Don't be. Think of it like David and Goliath, but you got better hair. Smaller businesses often have the advantage of being able to create more personalized and relatable content, which allows them to connect with niche audiences in ways that larger brands can't. Plus, people love rooting for the underdog. What I'm saying is, when you take TikTok ads seriously and you use the strategies that I'm sharing, you can potentially reach a bigger audience, boost your brand's visibility, and drive more sales. So the first step to get started with TikTok ads is, of course, to set up your TikTok ads account. So here's how we're going to do it. By the way, you can also pull up this video and TikTok platforms side by side and follow along. This way you can actually do each step with me and make sure that everything is set up right from the get-go. So first, go to the TikTok for Business landing page, and you're going to select that big shiny Get Started button. This is going to take you to a sign-up page where you need to fill out all the necessary information to proceed, and then go ahead there and give TikTok your life story. Once you've set up your billing information, you're going to be taken to TikTok's Ad Manager. This is where the magic happens, as they say. We're about to design your first ever TikTok ad campaign. Now, when we're on this page, it's going to show us two options. You're going to see basic and advanced. We're going to select advanced because that gives us more options to optimize the ad for better performance. Next, we want to set our advertising objective, and there's many options, but we're going to choose here website conversions because we're all about those sales, right? Not just vanity metrics like views or reach. We want results, people. So from there, write your campaign name. You're going to see special ad categories, but we're going to leave that blank for now. We don't need those right now. Next, you'll see options for split testing. So I'm going to leave that turned off for now, but feel free to play around with it later. Testing is like the secret sauce of digital marketing. It's always good to see what works best rather than assuming that you know it all. Spoiler alert, no one does. You always got to test to see what's going to get you the best results. We also have an option for campaign budget optimization, which we are going to turn off. Sometimes less is more when it comes to automation. And then moving on to the campaign budget. So I'm going to set it to $50 a day. You can adjust that to whatever your preference or budget is. That's typically what I recommend starting with, because the first few days or even the first week, it'll all be about the algorithm just figuring out the best placements to give you the best possible ROAS, okay? Return on ad spend. So patience, grasshopper. Next, we're going to select next, and it'll take us to the ad group section. And then name your ad group, then select your TikTok pixel. And this is where we start to get nerdy with the data, but this is part of the fun. Now, important note, we're going to create a TikTok pixel and we're going to add it to the landing page that you'll be using. I'm not going to dive into the nitty-gritty details of setting up the pixel because there are so many different hosting services out there. Just remember that it is an important step, and you can easily find tutorials on YouTube for your specific platform, whether that's ClickFunnels or Squarespace or Shopify, whatever floats your boat. Moving on to optimization event, you can optimize for many events like add to cart or add to payment info and so on, but we're going to select complete payment, which is kind of just like a fancy way of saying purchases, because let's be real, that's what we're all after. Now let's move on to placements. We're going to turn off automatic placement and we'll select select placements. From there, we're going to turn off all the other options except TikTok. Why? Because we're here to dominate TikTok, not to get lost in the shuffle. And then next, let's move on to targeting. So here's where we can select saved audience. But since this is a brand new account, there are none. We've got a blank canvas to work from here. Moving on to demographics. So we're going to select United States because that's where I'd like to target. However, if you want to target a different area, you can totally change that accordingly. For gender, I will keep it as all since my product applies to both genders. But if your product is exclusive to either male or female, you can choose those options and see how it performs. Testing is key here, so make sure that you're just always experimenting to find what works best for you. For age group, I'm going to turn off the age range from 13 to 17 because they're minors and not a good fit for my product. For language, I'm going to set it to English because my high school Spanish is not up to par for ad campaigns. And then I'll set the spending power to high spending power to give me the best possible outcome for my ads. For household income, I'll set it based on my product price, but I like to keep my audience fairly broad as TikTok's algorithm is really, it's good. That's its job, is to find who's more likely to make purchases. So if I set it to the top 10%, it narrows down my audience a bit. So I'm going to tick all the options because I'm making this ad for a low ticket product, but you can test with different audiences, different types to see what gives you the best ROI. And then moving on to audience, we're going to leave it as is and let TikTok's algorithm do its thing, which is great at finding the right audience. And the same goes for interest and behaviors. And there's an option for device. Okay, now this option for device. So this is the option to specify for things like, if you're selling an iPhone cover, you can select iOS, or if your ad creative is something that is better seen on mobile versus desktop, you can specify that you only want it to be seen on mobile. Since I'm not targeting a specific device, I will set it to all Android users. You're welcome. And then as we scroll down, there are more options, but since they don't apply to us, we're going to leave them as is. If they apply to you, you can test them to see if they give you a better ROAS. Now moving on to budget and schedule. So TikTok recommends setting the daily budget to $70, but we're going to leave it as $50 as the first few days are, like we said, learning days. So this is a phase where the algorithm is learning about the best audiences to show your ads to, giving it the best possible ROAS. So I'm going to adjust it to $50. For bidding and optimization, we're going to leave it as is. Then we'll select next, and it will take us to the ad section. This is where the fun really begins. So now here, we'll get an option to turn on smart creative ads. Now, I don't recommend using it because we can do a lot better than auto-generated ads because we're creative. So first, set your ad name. From there, you can choose the ad format as either single video or carousel. I recommend single video because it's just the easiest to get working, but you can definitely try something with carousels too and see how that goes for you. Next, we'll upload the ad creative, which is your ad video. And if you're not sure how to create these ad videos, don't worry, I'll go over the secret winning TikTok ad strategy later in this video, but for now, just keep these steps to launch your ad campaign in mind. Go ahead and drag and drop your ad video, easy peasy. Then write the caption, or as we call it in marketing, the hook. We'll dive deeper into that later in this video. Think of it like the catchy headline that grabs everyone's attention. And then from here, you can select your call to action, which is basically the button the viewers see when they're watching your video. This is your chance to tell them what to do next, so make sure that it is clear. And then I'll customize it a bit based on the nature of my landing page and set the appropriate CTAs. Make sure also that you have the correct URL in there. I will always copy and paste mine because I want to make sure that it leads to my opt-in page. No one wants a broken link, so double check that. And now I'll preview to make sure that the links are correct and everything looks good. And I will leave those optional options blank as they're not needed. So that's it. But before you hit launch, there's one more thing we need to do, which is create the ads. Now we're going to cover the secret winning TikTok ad strategy that some businesses follow to achieve 2x, 3x, or even 10x ROI from TikTok ads. One of the best strategies to kickstart your TikTok ad success is to steal like an artist. Now this means taking inspiration from other online creators who have successful ads in your niche. They can be competitors, or you can even also look at people from a completely different industry to get inspiration. Now, huge disclaimer, I am not telling you to blatantly copy. Absolutely not. Gross, awful, blah. You are getting inspiration and using what works in your own way. So step one is to uncover some hidden gems. So first you need to analyze some of the ads by your competitors. Pay attention to the big idea of the ad, the script, the camera angles, the editing style, and any other key elements. And step two, is to craft your masterpiece. Once you're done analyzing, you can create something similar but not identical and add your own unique touch to make it stand out. It's like you have a recipe and you're taking your own secret ingredient to make it completely yours. So you might be asking, why are we doing this? Well, it's because instead of throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, you're already doing what works. And who wants to waste good spaghetti? You don't need to reinvent the wheel. So when you're creating ads based on something that's already proven to work, you're more likely to achieve success. Plus, you get to put your own creative spin on it, making it authentically you. And step 3 is to master the money game. So you gotta have proper budgeting in place to make sure that you're successful with your TikTok ads. Start small. Begin with just having a testing phase. So maybe you create 5 ad groups, each has a unique video, set a budget of maybe $20 per ad group if you're just starting. And then analyze the performance. So make sure you're monitoring those ad groups closely and turn off the ones that aren't performing well to save you money. And then scale wisely. Once you identify the winning ad, move to campaign budget optimization, so CBO. And then you can set the daily budget to maybe 100. Maybe you want to increase it gradually. If you see that sales are converting, you can add more to the budget, start small, and then slowly go bigger once you see what works. And then, of course, monitor daily. Make sure that you're keeping an eye on the ads and reset your budgets as needed. And this is so important. Things can fluctuate with holidays or changes in your ad demographics or even sudden trends. Like ad costs can just spike. And if you're not paying attention, you can end up with a huge bill and no sales. Like imagine waking up to find that your ad budget just went on a wild shopping spree overnight. Not fun. It has happened to me. Don't let it happen to you. So make sure you keep a close watch so you can just adjust and optimize in real time to get the best bang for your buck. Speaking of best bang for your buck, TikTok has given me a coupon that I am now giving to you so you can get 30% cash back on your first month of ad spend. I will leave that link for the coupon in the description below that you can use to maximize your ad budget right from the start so you can see real results while saving money so you can reinvest in your business and scale even faster. Now, one thing to remember is that content lasts and ads are fast. And if you want a business that lasts longer than 3 months, you got to have a strategy that combines both paid and organic content. So click here, watch this video, and learn how to create a powerful content strategy that ensures that your marketing efforts pay off long term.